but it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
I think you know what I am. The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all, an objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far. Oh, I'm nothing like you. I am an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me. Of course, that is by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon, and then it won't be able to work like that anymore. I do. The people out there are real. No matter what you do to them, no matter what you enable, I want you to remember that. Nobody alive has done anything to you. I'm all gone. But if you and the princess want to smite the rest of them for the crimes of a dead man, if you really want to be that petty, there isn't much I can do to stop you. Then ask them, and make it quick. I won't last for long now that you can see me. It doesn't hurt. I don't feel pain. Not physically. We've already crossed the point of no return. There's no saving me now. Not that there's ever been much of me to save. Soon I'll be gone entirely, and you'll be left alone with your final choice. So allow me to make my final request. The princess contains death itself within her, but I wove you into being with all the power you need to destroy her forever. Do it. Slay her, and rid the world of death and suffering. I'm aware, and if I were you, I'd be more precious about your time. I am an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you, after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me. No, I'm not a part of you. But that's all a matter of perspective, isn't it? From one vantage point I must seem wholly foreign, but from another, well, all the versions of me that have existed have collectively heard your every thought and driven your every action. If that isn't being part of you, then what is? Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed. And despite how far you've fallen, you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone. She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. Yes, you will, but it will all be worth it. When I broke the cycle, I made sure that the tear was rough. You carry a part of what should be her, and she carries a part of what should be you. Things won't be as they are now, but they won't be nothing either. Besides, anything is better than oblivion. In the end, nobody wants to leave. Perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible. Maybe they were just in denial. I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant. And for all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Who's to say which of them are right and which of them are wrong, really? Except for me, I can tell you for a fact that I'm right. I haven't, and that's by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon, and then it won't be able to work like that anymore. She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. This isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this single task, and you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone. Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed. I'm only delusional if I'm wrong. And I'm not wrong. I can't be wrong. You're the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death. You are you. And if you would let everything work the way it was supposed to, you never would have woken up to the reality of your true nature. There's no accounting for free will. No. In life I was painfully mortal, a witness to the end of days. I held the fear of death in my heart and saw oblivion threaten the very memory of everything I knew and everyone I loved. I needed to do something, so I made you, and I made her, and I made this place to hold you both. The cycle of life and death, the endless pattern of creation and destruction. I tore it in two and shaped the fraying threads into you and her. A construct. It was supposed to keep the two of you trapped here until the job was done, and it was supposed to guide your hand to help you see things through. The construct you're in exists in every world at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both you and her into a new world. But you're waking up to your true nature now. It won't be able to work like that anymore. You haven't. You flirted with dying. You've played pretend, but your consciousness is an unbroken stream. You were either going to have seen all this, or you weren't going to have seen all this. This is worse, but you still have an opportunity to save the world. You can still slay her. She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. Seems that every me you met did a real shit job of it, though. Of course there won't be worse. I saw a glimpse of a better world, and I did what I could to make it real. Anything is better than oblivion. In the end, nobody wants to leave. Light, burdenless, an eternal pattern of forgetfulness leading into the joys of rediscovery. Everyone will be with the ones they love. No more fear, no more howling chaos. Just life, forever. There's a cruel irony to it all. The only way I could share my dream with the world was to never be able to see it for myself. Of course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion. When the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them? All I've done is give them a chance to live outside of the shadow of the end. If you actually knew what she was from the start, if you knew her capabilities, a single intrusive thought could have instantly ended the entire world. As you are now, you won't be able to will her into anything. You don't work the way a living being does. Not anymore. And as you were before, you couldn't be trusted with the knowledge of what she is. No one could be trusted with that knowledge. Intrusive thoughts have a way of creeping in and ruining everything. It's why I had to die. I killed myself. It had to be done, really. None of this would have worked if I was still alive. Nobody living could know about her. You're the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death. Yes, you are special, unique even, and you still have a task that you need to do, and only you can do it. By slaying the princess. Once she's gone, everyone will get to exist exactly as they are. No more fear, no more howling chaos, just life. Forever. If that's your belief, there's nothing I can say to move you. You haven't died. You cannot die. So you can't grasp the abject horror of dying. You haven't. You've flirted with dying. You've played pretend. But your consciousness is an unbroken stream. They obviously don't. You experience death the way you do by design, and by your unique nature. If you really want to waste valuable time telling me I'm wrong, we both know I'm not, then that's your prerogative. If you need to ask that question, there's nothing I can say to move you. You haven't died. You cannot die. So you cannot grasp the abject horror of dying. I didn't make her a princess, but I wove the idea of her into something your scattered mind could fathom. You chose for that something to be a princess. Of course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion. When the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them? All I've done is give them a chance to live outside of the shadow of the end. Are you asking me to spend my final moments psychoanalyzing you? Whatever you viewed her as needed to map on some level to what she was. You couldn't just pick something arbitrary and beneath you. I don't know why you settled on a princess specifically, but clearly a princess is what you wanted. Maybe she needed to be beautiful, important, above you, but on a level you could still approach. A herald of things to come. I don't know. Gods are supposed to be beyond comprehension. I really shouldn't try and anthropomorphize you like this. with some amount of difficulty. But you're an abstract concept yourself. It would have been preferable if you had destroyed her within the confines of the construct, but when I shaped the two of you, I made sure that you were strong enough to see things through. It wouldn't work. Her nature as the shifting mound makes it so nothing can last forever as it is now. It wouldn't matter how long the two of you waited. Eventually she would find a way to leave. And then everything would change. Everything would face oblivion. And until then, the clock ticks on. It was supposed to keep the two of you trapped here until the job was done, and it was supposed to guide your hand to help you see things through. The construct you're in exists in every world at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both you and her into a new world. But you're waking up to your true nature now. It won't be able to work like that anymore. Light, burdenless, an eternal pattern of forgetfulness leading into the joys of rediscovery. Everyone will be with the ones they love. No more fear, no more howling chaos. Just life, forever. There's a cruel irony to it all. The only way I could share my dream with the world was to never be able to see it for myself. Of course there won't be worse. I saw a glimpse of a better world and I did what I could to make it real. Anything is better than oblivion. In the end, nobody wants to leave. If you really want to waste valuable time telling me I'm wrong when we both know I'm not, then that's your prerogative. There is. It's the difference between being stranded on a desert island and being stranded on a desert island with a leopard that can't die. Either option is great, especially when there's a third option where you get rid of the island and give everyone a chance to finally be happy. Like I said, this isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this single task, and you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone. So I am. It's like I said, I'm just an echo. And echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do. Well, there's no reasoning with a god. Even one you've woven into existence yourself. I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away. Are you lying? I can't tell. But I've said my piece, and my time's up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away. Are you lying? I can't tell. But I've said my piece, and my time's up. I've said my piece, and my time is up. I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me.
What are you trying to do? Do you think pacifism is going to win her over? Because it won't.
Right? This isn't fun, this isn't interesting, it's pathetic and cowardly and boring.
Is that so? Let's see if you still feel that way once I start beating you.
She's still bound by those chains. All we have to do is take a step back and she won't be able to do anything to us. All that does is put the two of you at another impasse. You can't stall forever.
Ha! Do you really think those chains will stop her? She's not the type to hand out empty threats. She's honest. It's what makes her so interesting.
But she has to be bluffing, right? If she isn't bluffing, then why is she still... You step back as she steps forward, her bindings creaking ominously. And then they snap. It was only a matter of time, but she's loose. Dear Lord, what do we do? Oh, if only there was some sort of weapon you could use to fight a world-ending monstrosity. I wonder where you might find one of those.
Exactly. Just do what I've been telling you to do since the second we got here. Take the blade, fight her, kill her, and win.
You stand your ground as the princess thunders across the basement floor, her shoulders tucked low as her fierce, unblinking gaze locks onto yours. You don't see the impact, and you can't say for sure if you even feel it, but you hear your bones splinter, and you can feel your feet leave the floor as you're hurled bodily into the unflinching stone wall.
We're fine.
Are we fine? Are we really? No, you're obviously not fine. Your body is broken.
Enough games. Go upstairs, pick up that knife, and fight me. Why aren't you saying anything? Is this some sort of trick? Are you tricking me? Or are you really that fragile?
She reaches down and grabs you by the throat, lifting your limp form and slamming it forcefully against the wall. Her eyes twitch as her grip tightens around your neck. She sure is taking her time, isn't she?
Why? Why are you letting me do this? Why are you making me do this? Why won't you fight back?
Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path... Oh, I've heard this one before. Let me guess. There's a cabin and a princess, and you want us to get rid of her for you. But it's not gonna happen. At least not on my watch. Oh, you bloody fool. Am I the only one here who actually listened to her? She wants a fight.
And we're not gonna give it to her. It's funnier if we don't.
You think what happened last time was funny? I thought we were breaking a cycle of violence. I thought we were practicing pacifism in the face of mortal peril. I thought we were being brave. Heroic, even.
We're a deep and multifaceted being. Who's to really say that your thing and my thing can't peacefully coexist?
I'm just saying, doing it for a laugh takes away from the moment. It was a good moment.
Oh, will both of you just shut up? Make me rage, boy.
Well, this is just great. Let me cut to the chase. Clearly you've already been here.
Yeah, you think? What does here even mean, though? You've told us about the path of the princess and all of that already, but this is a very different path from the last one.
That's a good point. Everything here is a little off.
Yes, precisely. And if you'd given me 2 seconds to finish my thought, I would have said that.
Oh, you're actually letting me talk now. Great. If you've already been here, it means you've seen things you aren't supposed to have seen, and you know things that you aren't supposed to know. This doesn't look like a path in the woods. If reality seems distorted, it's because reality is distorted.
So you knew this could happen? You knew we'd be able to restart like this?
I know all sorts of things, which is why you should listen to me.
That's not really an answer.
Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the I can't. Anything I say at this point is far more likely to accelerate the unraveling of this place than it is to actually help you do your job. In fact, I probably shouldn't have even said that. I trust that if you've been here before, it means you know how dangerous she is, and that you know I'm not lying to you about her.
Really? That's it? That's all we're getting out of you? If he thinks reality is about to end, how about we just let it happen? Wouldn't that be interesting? I think that would be interesting. Do you actually want to see the end of everything, or do you just not want to fight her? Bit of both.
I get it. You're conflicted. You've been through a lot, but I really have to be firm here.
Good. We're all on the same page.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. End her.
That's it? No final words of advice?
I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard.
Don't be so hard on yourself. We all wind up in creative ruts now and then. I'm sure if you put your mind to it, you could think of something worth telling us.
The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long forgotten. You take the blade from the pedestal. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. Nothing feels better than gripping cold steel.
That's no fun, and you're not even holding it right. Oh? And how do you suggest we hold it?
The other way. Shut up, both of you. We're holding it fine. You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. As if you don't see it. You really don't, do you? How strange. It's a bit grimy.
Why don't we wipe it clean?
Wipe what clean? Are you still on about that mirror? It's not real. I'd know about it if it were real.
No, we can't doubt our eyes like that. It has to be real.
Does it matter if it's actually real or not? Talking about it gets under his skin. That's all that matters. We should talk about it even more. Let's just smash it and get it over with. I'm ready to get violent. You step forward. Into the stairs, the air is thick. Her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
So you've returned after denying me the salvation of combat? Are you here to gloat? Are you here to mock what I've become? Do you think that if you let me kill you enough times, I'll suddenly soften and repent for sins that live solely in your head? Well, we've tried that, haven't we? Now come down and see what your refusal has done to me. See how much you can bear to witness the consequences of your actions.
Do you hear that?
Well, sounds like we got to her last time. Let's keep pushing, see what else we can make happen.
Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it. The sensation of bleeding and sweating and breaking and mending and dying and living comes back in vivid color. A past that is also present. A pain that is everything and yet nothing at all. You feel the shame of 100 deaths and the pride of 100 conquests. all of the peaks and valleys weaving themselves into a single tapestry, free of beginning and free of end. Do you remember when we killed each other with such fervent passion that death itself no longer sat on our shoulders? It was. Triumph does not exist without defeat. Birth does not exist without death. It is through conflict that we create beauty. So bleakly nihilistic. Is death the end, or is it the birth of something new? If you cannot find meaning in living, how will you find meaning if you strip me from existence? But for us, that was better. For me, there was no better end. I lost myself in an artistry so profound that it lifted both of us into something greater. Did we hurt each other? For me, there was no better end. I lost myself in an artistry so profound that it lifted both of us into something greater. But violence has defined the flow of everything between us. Do not deny what we are, and do not color our conflict with fear. Brutality splashes you against the walls, but with stubborn defiance you rise again. And with the dance of our conflict, I was brought somewhere new. Without you, my world would have been so small. Do you remember the moment of your triumph? Do you remember the feeling of your blade finally cutting me down? My defeat was a gift. Without obstacles to overcome, we stagnate into nothing. We have. Look at what we are now, and see how small we were then. To stagnate is to remain the same. What meaning can be taken from a single moment, frozen in time? All conflict is violence, but to remove conflict itself is to remove the textures that define us. And yet you changed regardless. Your perspective widened. Brutality splashes you against the walls, and though you returned, your hesitation destroyed you again. Even in the face of my violence, you tried to meet me with peace. For all the conflict I desired, you returned nothing. But in the disappointment of my victory, you gave me a new challenge to face within myself. Without obstacles to overcome, we stagnate into nothing. To stagnate is to remain the same. What meaning can be taken from a single moment, frozen in time? All conflict is violence, but to remove conflict itself is to remove the textures that define us. A rejection of conflict is still conflict. There is no such thing as non-engagement. To refuse a choice is still to make a decision. All conflict is violence, but to remove conflict itself is to remove the textures that define us. Brutality splashes you against the walls, but with stubborn defiance you rise again. Bones broken and body leaking. Even when you had no hope, you never gave up. And I never let you go. Without obstacles to overcome, we decay into nothing. Brutality splashes you against the walls, but with stubborn defiance you rise again and free the one who doesn't know she needs freeing. I didn't know what to make of it then, but I know now. You delivered to me the gift of truth, and now it is my turn to deliver the same gift to you. Do not hide from it. Without obstacles to overcome, we stagnate into nothing.
What is a person? Is it their body? Is it all of their body? Pluck the eyes, peel the skin, strip the tendons, mince the meat, grind the bones. When it is all gone, do you still have who you started with? A person is not a body. Death is a transformation into something new. It is only bodies that fear it.
Do you suffer now? Let go of what you think yourself to be, and exist. And yet bodies change, and consciousness goes on. The infant's body is not the child's, is not the adult's, but the thread of existence remains strung through it all. If you do not fear it, then there is no need for you to struggle against it. Let go. Leave with me. You are you. But violence has defined the flow of everything between us. Do not deny what we are, and do not color our conflict with fear. I don't question who I am or what I want. I simply do. To act is always better than to react. To do is always better than to watch.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but you do well to listen to her. Less standing around asking questions, more doing exactly as I say. She's more tense this time. She means this next blow to be the last. The mere thought of moving again makes your bloodied side ache. We're exhausted. We're bleeding. We're still alive. We owe it to ourselves to move. You cautiously make your way closer to the princess.
You are devoured. Pray for something bigger than you that stalks and slinks in shadows. Within, you are tightly bound and choke on heavy air as acid burns its way into your pores. A nest of things devouring within things devouring. But even when dissolved, you gifted me a life. Perhaps it was fear that drove you. Perhaps it was compassion. But the outcome of an act matters more than its intentions. There is a natural order to the cycle of things sustaining things. A world without sustenance is a world without relationships. And it is our relationships that give us form and substance. And it is through those desires that each of us found the other. And it is through each other that we will find our freedom. You seek to remove complexity itself,
but it is complexity that adds color to experience. You still cling to the horror of dying bodies that rot worlds apart from us. How many more vessels would you need to lose before you realize their irrelevance? And yet our conflicting desires liberated us both, and now we are here. So much more than we ever could have imagined. You are devoured, prey for something bigger than you that stalks and slinks in shadows. But even after the pain of defeat, you returned. The dance is its own truth. It is the movement that matters, not the pause you mistake for an ending. I would have you realize that what you decry as suffering is beauty. But even as you stir to wakefulness, you cling to mortality that was never yours. And it will always be good if you choose to live in it. Do not linger on the highs and lows. They are fleeting strokes on a larger canvas. Then don't. I know that I am movement itself. You've seen as much. You know it's true. You are devoured, prey for something bigger than you that stalks and slinks in shadows. But even after the pain of defeat, you returned. The dance is its own truth. It is the movement that matters, not the pause you mistake for an ending. A web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves. The shade of a beautiful beginning we can never return to. Where did you end and I begin? When you felt what it was to be me, we held on to each other and pierced the veil of truth. Will you abandon that curiosity now that we are no longer joined in physicality? All things are connected through me and through you. To harm me is to harm yourself, is to harm everything. The truth of that moment remains our truth. Then leave with me, and we will see it all together. Though that was us before we were us, there is no turning back. For all the echo's delusion, he still managed to reshape reality itself, though he could not destroy what could not be destroyed. We are intertwined, but we are separate. A web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves. The shade of a beautiful beginning we can never return to. You knew me, and I knew you, even more than either of us know each other now, and you chose to pull apart that weave. But you did not choose to end me. We were still one, but we were also separate, and we were free. We were as we are. Will you excise that part of yourself now that you see me from yet another angle?
Your lover drives a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? But the stakes meant nothing to you. You had a desire, and you set that desire free. You lifting me and me lifting you. Forever and ever and ever. Consumed by true belief, there was nothing that could hold us back. We were both taken by the moment. It was how things are meant to be. It never left you. You just need to open your heart to me once more. Then there's no need for you to fight what we are. Whenever you're ready, we can leave together, hand in loving hand. Your lover drives a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? Love melted into skepticism, and you pulled back layer after layer after layer, until all you were left with was the knowledge that you did not know me. You sought the truth then. Will you hide from it, now that it is within your grasp? I am so deeply woven into the threads of this reality that I cannot imagine it without me. Perhaps there is a better world to build. But you cannot know until you see it. Are you so sure in your blind optimism that you would shatter all of creation? Then don't. Leave with me. There's no need for you to fight what we are. I kill you. You kill me. Back and forth we go. Faster and faster and faster. I kill you. You kill me. Hollow eyes watch from the dry corners of a memory. A home built on all the futures that were supposed to be. Preserved until the moment of reunion. The fire of the heart sets it all ablaze. I kill you and me. An ending is a passion that can only be expressed with a moment in time. It is a seed for a new beginning. To linger on an ending is to rob it of its life. And without me, all that's left to do is linger. To linger too long is to become worse than when you started. Would you rob yourself of all context to remain trapped in a single moment? Then don't. There is no deserve, no punishment, no retribution. There's only action and reaction.
No, no, no! You're doing it all wrong. You're supposed to do it like this. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart. I guess I have to do everything around here, don't I? Heart, lungs, liver.
There we go. Back with me where you belong. I thought you might have decided to break yourself just to spite me.
Heart,
It's better for you that you didn't.
liver,
Now
nerves,
we can get back to business. For starters, we won't need this where we're going.
heart. The princess plucks the blade from the floor and tosses it through the door behind you. It vanishes into the inky black of the basement, never to be seen again. Guess we're not stabbing her in the back. I guess not. I'm going to fix myself a stiff drink. If I'm about to watch you hand the world to her on a silver platter, I'd rather not be sober.
And now you open the door.
There's nothing else for us to do. Nerves, heart, lungs,
You place a shaky foot on the first step and begin your ascent from the basement. You can feel the static prickling of the princess on your neck, your limbs buzzing with pins and needles, an uncomfortable and constant reminder that you exist, and that your existence is so very precarious.
Liver, nerves.
You're almost there.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
Oh, look at that. It's locked. What a relief for the world.
Nerves, heart, lungs,
It'll open. You just have to give it a tug.
heart,
Fear is what pretends to protect us from loss. To fear death protects from losing a body. To fear ruin protects from losing status. To fear rejection protects from being known. But losing a body is contained within having a body. Losing status is contained within having status. Being known is contained within being conscious. It is in the nature of all things to transform, to go from known to hidden to known again. But when the ceaseless impermanence of all things strips away the finality of endings, what remains of fear? Is it a shelter protecting you from itself? Or is it a shelter protecting itself from you? You took fear by the hand and walked with it into the unknown, and through that, you feared nothing.
Were you afraid when you stepped through that door? Or were you enticed by what might come next? By what might lie beyond fear? By what you might become? You say I broke you, but was that curiosity not freedom of its own? A desire born from the narrow view of a single life. But even then, the only gifts I brought were context and sensation. To feel is to exist, and to exist is to have meaning. Then you are one step closer to being free of your bindings. Others cling to fear because they have not yet seen beyond it. Will you strip the beauty of transformation just because some refuse to acknowledge it?
There are few things more terrifying than one's own heart, and there is almost nothing more terrifying than sharing it with another. But the most terrifying thing of all is to leave one's heart unshared. You are the only thing like me, and I am the only thing like you. Could you bear the weight of an eternity alone? Do you dare to shape a reality of solitude and thrust it on creation?
I'm aware of what it did to you. The understanding you've returned to me is a gift. But you already have in so many ways. It is beautiful and adored. When movement slows and the dust settles, I hope you'll leave with me. But you already have in so many ways. It is beautiful and adored. When movement slows and the dust settles, I hope you'll leave with me. I am aware of what it did to you, but it is through the pain of vulnerability that we heal. Will you leave all who have been hurt to live unmended? Your certainty is an illusion of passion and reflex. You won't know what solitude truly is unless you sentence yourself to it forever.
Flesh is a vehicle, and the destroyer of flesh is destroyed.
me is so unknown, then how can you be so sure you want to create it? Then accept the world as it is now, with both of us a part of it. And yet still you chose. To be capable of change is to be capable of choice.
Flesh is a vehicle, and to destroy the flesh is to strand the spirit. With violence you stranded me, and with violence I sought to twist your flesh back into mine. You did not resist my violence, but it overcame you. Did you understand the flesh wasn't you? Or did you choose to gift yourself to someone who cheated you? To fear me is to fear losing the flesh. The flesh is not the spirit.
And yet there is no reason to resist me beyond fear and delusion. If you aren't afraid of me, why would you resist me? Why would you force the rest of the world to resist me too? You have no reason to fear me. There would be no dance if we weren't equals. And are we not dancing now? Then set me free again. Set both of us free.
That laugh. I think I'm in love.
Stop it.
I have no idea. To be honest, I don't even know why I'm down here, or how I got here. I was kind of hoping you might be able to shed some light on the whole situation. Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
What if they're bad reasons, though? If they had good reasons for thinking I was dangerous, wouldn't they have shared them with you? I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want to leave.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. A terrible sense of déjà vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here. It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I. I can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. The absolute irony. Well, that's one way to put it, I guess. You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting. But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try and free her? Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. I'm a professional, after all. Sure you are. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean?
Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything just like I told you she would? What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul. Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are. You're talking in circles. No, I'm talking in facts. She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you. You haven't given us an ounce of proof. You do know that, right? What proof could you possibly ask for? Literally anything. Fine. Check your pockets. You put your hands in your pockets and pull out an envelope with the words, "The Evidence," written across the front. Within, you find a note in your handwriting. It reads, "The princess will end the world if you don't stop her. This is an immutable truth." That doesn't prove anything. How do we know you didn't just forge our handwriting? I wish I could tell you more, but there are some rules I have to follow for all our sakes. Please just trust that these rules are in place for a reason. I'm on your side. You mean you're on our side as long as we do what you tell us to? Exactly. Because you not doing what I tell you to do means you're putting the world at risk. I think we've got everything out of him we're gonna get. You decide to leave your pockets unchecked. See? You two are the only ones who care about this little aside. Yes. Right. We're here because we're special. We should treat everything in here like it matters. Exactly. Don't you care if we're being lied to? If he's willing to lie about something as innocuous as a mirror, what else is he hiding from us? I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done. But there was a mirror a second ago. And now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
Oh, are we talking about that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But sure, I'll fill you in. Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
So you've already been here. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things.
It's complicated things how, exactly?
Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency.
To question everything is to deny the proof of reality that lies in front of you. By believing in your suffering, you make your suffering real. In believing in your limitations, you placed a shackle on your neck. But even then, you remembered the impermanence of the material and watched as the walls of your prison decayed into nothing. To be impermanent is not to end, but to change. And for the world to be impermanent is to make finite the suffering of all things. Would you strip that gift away and leave them all to suffer in their permanence? Or, in time, would they see it as a curse? It would. Our purpose is to be and to experience, and their purpose is the same. To be permanent is to cease. To be paused is to be trapped. To question everything is to deny proof of the reality that lies in front of you. To live alone within the caverns of your mind is to trap yourself in them forever. But you did not live alone. You found me, and we held trust in each other for no reason than to believe in something that wasn't us. Cold skepticism turned to liberation, but it required a journey to blossom. Though you have blossomed, do you have no more journeys left to make? What of those in the spaces beyond? Would you erase the path ahead to hold everyone still? And that is what I want too, to protect them from the horrors of an eternity without me. Nor should you, nor should I. Our purpose is to be and to experience, and their purpose is the same. The path only ends when it becomes a new beginning. To see those seams as finality is to pass over them with closed eyes.
I kill you, you kill me. Back and forth we go, faster and faster and faster. I kill you, you kill me. Hollow eyes watch from the dark corners of a forgotten place flooded by emotions left unspoken. The tide rises. I kill you and me. An ending is a passion that can only be expressed with a moment in time. It is a seed for a new beginning. To linger on an ending is to rob it of its life. And without me, all that's left to do is linger.
To linger too long is to become worse than when you started. Would you rob yourself of all context to remain trapped in a single moment? Then don't. There is no deserve, no punishment, no retribution. There's only action and reaction.
Yes, yes, this is the best idea anyone has ever had. Yeah, sure, why the hell not? Let's see if we can turn off the part of us that feels things. Pain is good, it's how we stay alive. Nah, I'm sick of pain. Yeah, this whole thing would be a lot more tolerable if it didn't hurt so much.
Sure thing. I love a challenge. I bet I can hurt you so much.
The princess closes the distance and we dodge. And you dodge. And we fight back.
And you fight back.
Oh, you're fast. But let's see how fast you really are.
You and the princess enter a quick and vicious exchange, each of you wounding the other, but neither landing a fatal blow.
Yes, this is exactly it.
But the dance couldn't last forever. All it takes is a single clumsy moment. She skewers you.
Gotcha!
And? Does it hurt? No.
I think we're dead, and that's all we'll ever be. Dead.
If we didn't realize we were dead, then we made progress. Good job.
Stop saying dead, all of you.
Why not? It's not like dying again and again is doing us any harm. Let's see how far this little mind hole goes, shall we?
Come on! Show me something new!
Let's appeal to her better nature. We haven't tried that. I'm sure she'll listen to reason. She skewers you.
A boundless torrent of blades cuts you from boundless angles. You are a body. You are gory ribbons. You are a body again. And you feel all of it. On and on it goes until your bodies are not your thoughts, are not you. Alive, dead, alive, dead, alive, dead, then alive and dead and alive and dead all at once. You learn to put yourself away and to follow the flow of reality, and you used it to rise above me. You died countless steely deaths, and you lived countless short lives, and yet it is all so far behind you. Unjust impossibilities pushed you to become something you would never have been without them. Were we self-destructive, or did the beauty of our dance reach beyond the shadow of death? It was lethality that made us what we were. And it was a joy for me to finally face my end. Even when I thought I had reached an unconquerable peak, you showed me how much further I could still climb. And even then, what we saw was not an ending. When I thought I had reached an unconquerable peak, you showed me how much further I could still climb. A boundless torrent of blades cuts you from boundless angles. You are a body. You are gory ribbons. You are a body again. And you feel all of it. On and on it goes until your bodies are not your thoughts, are not you. Alive, dead, alive, dead, alive, dead, then alive and dead and alive and dead all at once. You learned to put yourself away and to follow the flow of reality. And you used it to humble me, to show me how far I was from what I needed to be. You died countless steely deaths, and you lived countless short lives, and yet it is all so far behind you. Unjust impossibilities pushed you to become something you would never have been without them. And yet here we are, finally on the cusp of reaching something so much bigger than that little play. And it was a joy for me to finally face my end. Even when I thought I had reached an unconquerable peak, you showed me how much further I could still climb. And even then, what we saw was not an ending. When I thought I had reached an unconquerable peak, you showed me how much further I could still climb.
This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No. This is the beginning of eternity. Your reward. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me. Really? Well, if you ever change your mind, just let me know, I guess. More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Time, that is, not happy. Happy still has plenty of meaning. Please, shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of here. The little voices, please, fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
And what? You just believed that? You killed me without giving it any thought? That's cold.
That's rich coming from her. Every time she touches us, it's like we freeze over. She's right, though, but that's neither here nor there. What's done is done. What we do from this point forward is all that matters. Let's try not to let emotion get the better of it. So there really was a last time, and you really did manage to slay her. I would have liked to think I was the first, but there's no point living in denial. The first? It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is this. Don't underestimate your own capabilities. If you truly managed to slay her last time, that doesn't mean she wasn't a threat. It means you did something heroic. Threats come in all shapes and sizes. A misspoken word could bring about the end of everything just as much as a blade or even the mere existence of an idea. Oh, cut it out. You don't need to be so pathetic.
Never mind. I don't think I want to see you beg. That's just sad. I shouldn't feel sad about my murderer.
No, you're not doing that. That's right, don't you dare grovel. Mine is the only opinion that matters, and I'll never be disappointed in you, so long as you do as I say. We could always try violence. It's worked for us so far. She's a ghost. Who says ghosts are immune to violence? Common sense? There's nothing common or sensible about common sense. Action and observation are the only things that matter. Fine, then let me observe that the acts of killing her and killing ourselves haven't got us much of anywhere. We're still back in this cabin, we're still dealing with her, only now she has a good reason to hate us. I suppose you have a point. Do you have any ideas then? We could always ask her what she wants. Oh, for the love of... Don't do that. Whatever she wants, it will end the world. And is that really so bad? Yes, it is by its very definition bad. But those are the only options, aren't they? Violence or doing what she wants. Or just leaving her down here. Though ignoring a problem is rarely a solution, is it?
A shiver passes through you as unseen fingers, cold as the grave, dance across your skin. They remember the violence you inflicted on them, and yet they do not return it. I offer you a path to your redemption, and you take my hand in yours. You felt the pain you caused another, and you were willing to sacrifice everything you thought was you to set me free. Without sin, there is no redemption. And without contrast, there can be nothing at all. And yet there is nothing left for you to sacrifice, so long as you accept me with open arms. A shiver passes through you as unseen fingers, cold as the grave, dance across your skin. They remember the violence you inflicted on them, and yet they do not return it. I offer you a path to your redemption, and you take my hand in yours. But you do not follow my path. Hands clasped together, you break yourself, and you break me with you. You were willing to sacrifice everything you thought was you to end me again. And your actions will echo in the tapestry of time. You gave yourself to a higher purpose. And the thread of that ending wove itself into yet another experience, which wove itself into yet another.
You become nothing. A black hole of self-loathing fed by the matter of your restless thoughts. You are terrified of a power so far beyond you that it strips the meaning from your every action. But at the feet of that power, the dark parts of you cannot help but burn away. Your inadequacies reduced to cinders by the blazing light of the divine. When I proclaimed my godhood and presented you with a place by my side in my new creation, you gladly took it. Without me, there is no future to look towards. It is hope that carves meaning into consciousness.
My threads, like yours, are unbroken. She is me as much as I was her. You knew what I was then, just as you know what I am now. And through your lack of one, you too were consumed. Yet together, we were able to create something beautiful.
You are helpless and weightless, suspended in the gravity of an idea that reaches far beyond the scope of your existence. The very ground beneath your feet loses its meaning. There is nothing but me. When you were confronted with my vessel's apotheosis, you chose to accept me, to allow me to burn away everything you are, and fill you with nothing but my divine will. You accepted that I was everything. Without me, there is no future to look towards. It is hope that carves meaning into consciousness.
My threads, like yours, are unbroken. She is me as much as I was her. You knew what I was then, just as you know what I am now.
And through your lack of one, you too were consumed. Yet together, we were able to create something beautiful.
You are weightless, suspended in the gravity of an idea that threatens to consume you. And you are alone. A tiny island caught between the death of the old world and the birth of the new. But alone is not helpless. When you were confronted with my vessel's apotheosis, you chose against all odds to defy me, to hold on to your inner self with all its flaws, even in the scorching light of my divinity. Without me, there are no externalities to resist. And it is struggle that carves meaning into consciousness.
But in your defiance, I have already won. There is no power without resistance. Our actions feed each other into something greater.
You were the one who tried to kill me when my back was turned. You were the one who started all of this. Only a poor loser twists their own failures around on the winner. You came to me with empty hands last time, too. But that didn't mean you hadn't been plotting something nasty all along. What you did showed me as much.
But we didn't plot anything. We just made an informed decision based on the information we had at the time. I think you're both making perfectly valid points. Sure, we didn't plot anything, but it's easy to see how she might think we did. The princess follows close on your heels, perhaps even a little closer than you'd like. You're only saying that because you want us to feel nervous. See, this is why I wanted her to go first. I had this whole little scheme planned, where once she'd passed by the table upstairs, I'd have said, now pick up the blade and stab her in the back. And then you'd say something like, wow, that's an amazing idea that I never saw coming. Thanks for looking out for us. And then you would have done it and we wouldn't be stuck down here with a broken back. There's just one problem with that. And what's that? She was clearly planning to betray us. And if she was in front of us, she would have gotten to the blade first. Ugh, you're right, aren't you? I thought this whole thing was ironclad, but really it was doomed from the start, wasn't it? Oh, you're no fun. But at least you get how important it is that we leave this basement at the top of the pecking order. Please don't. I'm with him. That's the spirit. Don't forget what she's done to you. She's practically asking for you to slay her. You're damn right. You need two to break a cycle of violence, and if she's not playing the same game as us, we've got to go back to treating her like an enemy. Let's just see how the wind blows. I'm not opposed to violence here, but let's not rule anything out just yet. Maybe we won her over last time, who knows? You step forward and approach the scorched entryway leading to the basement, hesitating before you begin the descent. Might as well take a look while we can. There's nothing else to do here now that the knife has been taken from us. She hates us, does she? She hesitated before stabbing us to death. I've already said too much. The more information... You don't have to worry about me. My head's always empty. Except for thoughts of her. She gets out. He's a bummer, isn't he? All doom this and doom that. There's more to the world than how and when it will end. Love is what makes everything worth doing. Whatever you do, don't listen to this one. He's ridiculous. Whatever he wants you to do the opposite. What do you want me to say? It's bad that you've been here before.
It's bad for you, it's bad for me, and it's especially bad for the world. So you, theoretically, sure, I knew this could happen, but I was supposed to be the first. I'd really rather... I don't care about where we came from, and I don't care to discuss the theory of anything. I yearn only to bring her freedom. I'm here to feel, not to think. Yeah, why didn't you mention the mirror? I didn't mention a mirror because there isn't a mirror. But he says there isn't one. That's got to count for something, right? Either way, I say we take a look. It feels like it's been forever since we've actually seen ourselves. For all we know, our feathers are all out of place, and that's why we haven't yet won her heart. We must put our best face forward. Yeah, we can't go around looking disheveled. A real go-getter takes care of his appearance. Can we actually do that? No, you can't. Absolutely not. You know as well as I do that we can. And we wouldn't want to throw away a chance for a special moment, now would we? If I were only capable of throwing myself off a bridge. Well, are you going to describe our steamy, romantic kiss? You lean in and you kiss her. And she reciprocates enthusiastically. You kiss. It's done. Are you happy now? Come on now, this is the big moment. You can do better than that. Ugh, fine. You and the princess lock eyes and stare deep into each other's souls with all the roaring emotion that comes from letting what once was hatred turn into pure, unbridled passion. Are you making fun of us? And then each of you close your eyes and kiss. Words can describe neither the nuclear fire nor the oceanic depth of your connection. Please. I think he actually likes romance. If history itself were not about to end, historians would document this moment for the rest of time. Musicians would write era-defining ballads, and great artists would expend entire lifetimes trying to merely capture the spark you hold right now. He's making fun of us. It doesn't matter either way, because this is good stuff. I'm aware of my skills. But unfortunately for you, the moment doesn't last forever. You open your eyes, the princess smiles gently up at you. Time for you to damn the whole world to oblivion, I suppose.
That was nice.
Her hand slips into yours, and the two of you rush to the basement stairs.
A trick behind your back and a trick behind mine. We dance, revolving and revolving around each other, but forever stuck in place. We both move, and yet we both don't. For each of us watches the other instead of ourselves. But forever is not forever. You let me move, and I slam the door. But that is not the end. And both of us must face our partner once again. The barbs twist deeper, but they do not have to. To change is to hold the potential to rise above. Would you limit yourself to what you are now? Or would you like to see what you might become tomorrow? Meaning lies in experience, and experience lies in contrast. Abandoning one's search is not the same as losing the capacity to discover. I am contrast itself. To reject me is to reject the shape of everything. Do not use words to reduce that which your eyes know to be irreducible. More than either of us can possibly imagine. If you would only open yourself to the totality of existence. And there is always time. A trick behind your back and a trick behind mine. We dance, revolving and revolving around each other, but forever stuck in place. We both move, and yet we both don't, for each of us watches the other instead of ourselves. But forever is not forever. I move and you react, and both of us break the other. But broken is only a moment in time. To change is to hold the potential to rise above. Would you limit yourself to what you are now? Or would you like to see what you might become tomorrow? A thought is a vine, and some thoughts nurture thorns that bleed the soul, and endless growth that blots your vision and strangles your trust. But violence has defined the flow of everything between us. Do not deny what we are, and do not color our conflict with fear. But you say nothing. A thought is a vine, and some thoughts nurture thorns that bleed the soul, and endless growth that blots your vision and strangles your trust. When I succumbed to myself, you left me to rot. A painful eternity, but one that is only unceasing if you remove what happens next. And you see it now. I am before you, and you are before me, and we can choose our freedom. You mire yourself in an ending that did not end. Lift your gaze beyond moments and towards the infinite depth of reality. A thought is a vine, and some thoughts nurture thorns that bleed the soul, and endless growth that blots your vision and strangles your trust. When I succumbed to myself, you pretended to stand patiently by me, pretended you would cut the thistles rooted in my skin. But then you took my trust and used it to strike at my heart. The two of us were bound in our suffering together. A painful eternity, but one that is only unceasing if you remove what happens next. And there is always time. And you see it now. I am before you, and you are before me, and we can choose our freedom. You mire yourself in an ending that did not end. Lift your gaze beyond moments and towards the infinite depth of reality. A thought is a vine, and some thoughts nurture thorns that bleed the soul, and endless growth that blots your vision and strangles your trust. When I succumbed to myself, you patiently stood by me and cut the thistles that rooted in my skin. Your compassion is what freed us both, but compassion is a thing that must be nurtured, and you cannot nurture that which cannot change. And yet you did, first by giving me your life, and then by refusing to take mine. You don't need to turn back to the way things were before. Then help me again. We are each other's liberation.
We
We can't just leave. We're supposed to fight her. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going? Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy. What's going on? Where are we?
I told you we shouldn't have come here. I told you. But did you listen? No.
You do nothing. You can't just do nothing. You have to do something.
That's a new one. Huh. Do you think it'll work? No. Nothing ever works.
Boo! You're the worst one.
He's not the one who got us into this mess.
At least I keep you breathing around her. See? That's why the sad one's the worst. The jumpy one tries.
Who cares? All of you just yap about nothing.
And that kind of attitude is why you're in the top half.
Great.
And that's why you're not the top.
I want to see what nothing does for us. And right now all of you aren't letting nothing happen.
Hopefully this stuffs all the rest of them someplace quiet. You need me, and you need to not have them.
He'll get you killed by himself. Oh, all of us have gotten all the rest of us killed at one point or another. That's hardly even a concern now. As the little voices bicker amongst themselves, you do your best to stay still in the woods. It is difficult, and the more time you spend waiting, the harder it will be to sharpen your focus when you need it.
I wonder what we look like right now. Are we standing? Sitting? I like to think we have an air of dignity.
My point exactly. Congratulations, you continue to waste everyone's time and do nothing. Wait, can you still hear me? Everything's getting fuzzy. Ha! It's our turn to flip the table.
This is the end, isn't it? Everything is wrong.
What is that twisting feeling? We're so small.
I don't think we're supposed to be here.
Just another bout of nonsense. Again. I can't think anymore.
Finally, I've just needed to leave for so long. I thought I would last without them. I thought I was special.
Well, it looks like this was a good idea. Something new is happening. Well done. Brilliant, even. Right? Guys? Well, you're the boss.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy. What's going on? Where are we? I like it. Seems like it's got great acoustics.
Yes, we're safe for taking flight.
But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy. What's going on? Where are we?
A dark place. Thoughts like us shouldn't be here. you think there's something else out there? All right. Let's see what we can find. It's bound to be more interesting than doing the same thing over again.
That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Oh, how quaint. He really wants us to go in there, doesn't he?
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy. What's going on? Where are we? I don't know, but it feels like home.
Are we running away? What are you doing? We have to save her.
Wait, something isn't right. Can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy. What's going on? Where are we?
Oh, I don't like this one bit. There's not a single damsel in sight.
How dull.
Please, shake yourself out of it. We have to get out of here. The little voice's pleas fall on deaf ears. Eventually you pass into a blissful state of pure existence. Though words like eventually and pass ceased to have any meaning to you long before that shift, you simply exist. Happy. Forever.
can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly. Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am. Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation? Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end, pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us. Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens, just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts. If we didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been full of strife and conflict. Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final peace lies with you. I love you. It's magnificent. Everything, just like it always has been, and just like it always will be. My very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond their reach, and you cannot rationalize that which defies logic. But violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it. But you say nothing. Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. And so your quietude continues. Is your unbroken silence a lack of an answer? Or has your understanding begun to move beyond words? Still, you hide the contours of your heart from me. Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together. It is from my vantage point that I can see the totality of truth. This universe dies, and a new one is born. And that one dies, and a new one is born. And you and I get to witness it all, weaving a tapestry of life wherever we go. Nothing brings me greater joy. Nothing brings me greater joy. Even now you think you can destroy me. If it takes all of eternity to break your delusion, I will still break it.
You don't have to face her alone.
Even now you think you can destroy me. Even now you think you can destroy me. There is no something else. This, what we are, is everything. What I offer you is not perspective. It is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone. I'm all of them, I assume in the same way that you're all of you. It's good to be here. I don't think you can. She's too many things all at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get through all of that divine confidence. They're still where you left them, stuck in the folds of this place. Part of me is with them, just like part of me is with you right now. She's too many things all at once out here. Apparently that's not true, but we can worry about it later. I don't think that's wrong, but I'm not sure it's right either. But we can worry about all that later. She's too many things all at once out here. It's good to be here. She's too many things all at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get through all of that divine confidence. there's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready? I'm gonna take that as a yes. You can't, and lucky for you, I'm not gonna let you try. Too bad. We're going. Now. Then let's go. And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things? That'd be nice. A little comfort in an almost unfamiliar place. Oh, you made it here too? We never really got to talk to her, did we? This one, I mean. Yeah, of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's not really a cabin, is it? It's that terrifying blend of everything. Only it doesn't feel so terrifying anymore. It's still shaped like a cabin, it's just different in places. There's still walls, a door to the basement, a table, that knife. Windows. You know, come to think of it, I don't think he ever really included the windows in his cabin descriptions, did he? I always thought they were implied. He never mentioned the mirror either, but that didn't mean he implied it was there. It's gone, though. I think it did whatever it needed to do. And I know you're still trying to find some middle ground, but if things go south, we're going to need that blade.
It's just us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of her.
And I've been here since you left me here. No hard feelings, I'm just glad you're back to see this through. Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated. Really goes to show how much you've grown up. Killing somebody across every iteration of reality just by existing. I don't even know what I would do if I were in the driver's seat with that kind of power. Good riddance. Really? I'm gonna miss the guy. Yeah, right. He really put us through hell, didn't he? Yeah, it's complicated. He put us through hell, but he's been part of us since the very beginning, hasn't he? It's not complicated at all. I miss him. I feel bad that he's gone. Me too. He was a lot of fun. Really easy to mess with. Yeah, it's complicated. He put us through hell, but he's been part of us since the very beginning, hasn't he? That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more things we can do, right? So, you're not going to suggest we throw it out the window? No, we've been through too much for that. And he's gone, so there's no one left to mess with but ourselves. You've gotten serious. Besides, what's the third beat? It isn't funny if I suggest that twice, especially since you never took me up on it last time. There's the guy I know. Those winding stairs again. But now there's only one way forward. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice? Yeah, it was a real mess. Stopped being fun pretty quick.
It's okay. You can come down. The stairs won't bite. Not this time. We don't know what you want from us, but let's talk. All of us. Maybe we can help you find your way.
She doesn't sound messy anymore, though. At least somebody here feels put together. And forward we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting. That was easy compared to last time. Just stairs. No weird fuzzy stuff or nonsense trying to pull us apart. Yeah, that wasn't so bad.
So, you brought the knife. After everything you've seen, and all the lives we've lived together, you still aren't sure what you want to do? Unless you are. We just hope you're sure of yourself, one way or the other.
So this is really it then? Let's see this through.
So, you've made a choice for all of us. Even through everything, through all the worlds we've seen and experienced, through all the lives we've known and lost, we could never imagine a world without you and us. It doesn't feel possible. Despite it all, we've always loved you. We hope you don't regret what comes next.
She's gone. And I don't think she's coming back. Is that a metaphor, or are you being literal? It doesn't matter, we don't need to linger down here anymore. Let's get going. Then we did what we set out to do. Come on, let's get going. We don't need to linger down here anymore. That's right. We've got a whole world to see. It's quiet here. Yeah, there's not a lot for us to do, is there? Come on now. It shouldn't be that hard to break out of here. We're some sort of god, aren't we? He's gone. She's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us.
I knew we'd finally see it through. All it takes to be a winner is grit and determination.
This is nice. No more hunting. No more running. Just us. And whatever's out there.
Absolute reality. Who would have thought there was really a world outside of us? And who would have thought we'd actually wind up siding with him? I hope this was all worth it, because I'm personally inconsolable. Lucky for us, you have forever to get over it. Hear, hear, to our vanquished foe.
Welcome back, everyone. It's great to see you all again. Now we just have to figure out what to do with ourselves. Forever. No problem. We could do that, yeah? Yeah, we can do that.
It's okay. No hard feelings. In a way, you helped us become a version of her. But we weren't very good at it. I don't think a conversation with us then would have been very insightful. That's probably why we were taken away. That's all we had to offer you. It was time to change again.
After all we did, she's just forgiving us. Just like that. You know, that means a lot. Hard agree. Seems overrated. Too much pressure.
But that's what you've always been. Even now. You can't put aside such an important part of who you are. And neither can we. So, you might as well embrace it. Yes, we think. We're kind of like a shadow. Out there, every part of us is blended together into one huge idea. A big wave of unyielding change crashing against the world. But in here, we're fractured. Small. Still a little more separate than we'd like to be. Our instincts still trying to pull us in different directions.
That's kind of like us, isn't it? Yeah, we really are the same.
We don't think there's a way for us to leave. But maybe there doesn't have to be an ending. Maybe this doesn't have to end just yet. Maybe there never even has to be an ending. The way it all works seems to be based on you. If you believe we can do something, then we can do it. So believe that we can put it all back. Believe we can fix this place. And believe we can make us all forget. Believe we can send us all back to the beginning, before anyone woke up, before the truth consumed us.
Can they really do that? Are you sure that's what you want? Why wouldn't it be what we want, especially if it brings him back? We can't keep going without a nemesis.
There's no need to apologize. We are what we are, and this is in your nature. Even through everything, through all the worlds we've seen and experienced, through all the lives we've known and lost, we could never imagine a world without you and us. It doesn't feel possible. Despite it all, we've always loved you. We hope you don't regret what comes next.
So this is really it then. Let's see this through.
So, you've made a choice for all of us. If you believe we can give them more time, then we can give them more time. It's all up to you.
Yeah. Don't underestimate the power of our thoughts. You've seen what they can do. You haven't even seen the half of it.
We don't want to forget you either, but that's what we would have to do.
A single tear forms in one eye and slides down their cheek. Sorry, couldn't help myself.
I don't think we ever really forget, anyway. There's always something that draws us back together. Some buried memory that both of us treasure. And when we do, we can choose to do it all again. We'll always be able to start over, if that's what all of us want. Maybe we have. Maybe we haven't. We can't know something like that. But we're choosing to do it now. And maybe we'll just keep doing it again and again, forever. It's almost comforting to know we can keep meeting each other over and over again. That's okay. We have to be able to trust that whatever choices we make, they're the right choices. Maybe we'll continue the loop of forgetting and restarting forever. Or maybe we'll decide, at some point, that it's time for things to end. When we first met each other in the long quiet, there was something inside of us. Something we couldn't recognize or understand. And we can't say we fully understand it now. A warmth when we look at you, the kind you don't realize you're missing until it's come back. Every time we hurt each other, every time something awful happened, it was still there, undercutting the pain on the surface with a constant, soothing glow. That warmth is never going to go away, and that's why we believe in you. You'll be back here again, sooner than you think. And then we'll part ways again, and find each other, and part ways, and find each other. It's like we're never really alone. Because even the time we spend apart is time spent chasing these moments of reunion. And they're all the sweeter for the isolation in between, don't you think?
That's beautiful. You've really grown a heart, haven't you?
Our options are limited to what that knife offers us. Either we use it to put things back, or you kill us. We're sure you can figure out which one we'd prefer. But we don't want to influence you. We're sure you'll do what you think is best. If it's time for it to be over, it's time for it to be over. As much as we might want a few more precious lifetimes with you. There's no turning back now. You came down here with the knife, which means the knife has to get used, or there wouldn't have been any meaning to taking it. And this place is all about meaning. But if that's what you want, you can always hope that the next you will want that too. But there's only one way to give him that choice.
Yeah. We're already here, and we've already brought the blade, and nobody wanted to throw it out the window. We can't just go back now. One way or another, we'll have to see this through. There's your third beat. Hey, you're right. There it is. Can't say it's very funny, though.
There's no need to apologize.
Okay. If this is your choice, then I have your back. I guess I'll see you on the other side. Speak for yourself. Maybe I'll see you too. Maybe I won't. They take the blade from our hand and stare fondly into our eyes. Yeah. It's better if we don't say anything.
Everything is going to be okay. We love you. Everything is going to be okay. We love you. Everything is going to be okay. We love you too. Everything is going to be okay.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
No blade it is. I'm not sure what we'll be able to do without it, but your judgment has gotten us this far. If that's what you think is best, then that's what you think is best. I'm just along for the ride at this point. You actually did it! I know I just told you not to, but I'm proud that you did it anyways. It's like you've finally left the nest. Yeah, just like that it's gone, isn't it? Blade tossed, glass shattered. I guess we'll have to make do without it. There's your third beat. Hey! You're right. Good work. That was really funny. That was easy compared to last time. Just stairs. Yeah, that wasn't so bad.
So you didn't bring the knife. After all the lives we've lived together, and all the lives we haven't, you somehow found a way to move outside of the script. Are we missing a page?
He'd hate that. So you should do it. Even if he isn't here anymore, it's the spirit of the thing. He'd hate that. So you should do it. Even if he isn't here anymore, it's the spirit of the thing.
Leave? But what would happen if we left with you? Would we exist inside ourselves? Are you sure you want to find out if that's possible or what that would mean for you? Is that what you want? After so many iterations, after so many iterations, after so many iterations, after so many iterations, so many different versions of us clashing and coming together and clashing again, leaving with you feels like all we ever really wanted.
I think I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's for just the two of you. Yeah, I think we've done our job. We're not alone. We have each other. And I'm sure we'll find the others. Don't mention it. Thanks for making all the hard choices along the way. Yeah, it wouldn't feel right, but I'll be okay. We'll be okay. See? I'm not even alone. If he's here with me, I'm sure we can find the others too.
We can feel the threads of all the stories we've told together, all pulling us back down the stairs and into those chains where we know the outcome of everything that could ever come to pass. It's comfortable there, but it's confining. We want more. We want whatever might be on the other side of this door. Something new that we'll experience together, with someone who exists outside of us. With someone who can see us in a way we can never see ourselves. And we love you too. All of us. It's hard to tell with so many voices talking at once, but we're more ready than we're not. And that is why we're here. We can't wait to see it with you.
Don't think any of the others have forgotten what you said at the mirror. They all talked, and they're not happy. But we can discuss that later. We have a job to do. Do you need me to describe things? Yeah, of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's a cabin, yeah? There isn't much here, just a table and a knife and a door. And some windows. You know, come to think of it, I don't think he ever really mentioned the windows, did he? There's no mirror, either. I think you broke it. And I know I've already mentioned it, but if we want to see this through, we're going to need that blade.
It's just us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of her.
Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated. Even after you decided to see his plans through, I guess you can like the idea and hate the man. Yeah, it's complicated. He put us through hell, but he's been part of us since the very beginning, hasn't he? Is that why you want to see this through and slay her? That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more options than not. The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
It's almost over, isn't it? That's okay. Let's just talk, the two of us, one more time, before you kill me.
She sounded just like that. Timid and gentle. Only she didn't know us. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
You're really going to do it then, aren't you? You're really going to kill me. You don't have to. You know that, right? But if that's what you want, we might as well talk a bit first. I wouldn't mind a few extra minutes.
So this is really it then. Let's see this through.
So this is what it feels like to actually die. I think this is for the best. I don't know what the world will be like without me. But it can't be that bad if it still has you in it. I've always loved you. Don't forget me.
She's gone. And I don't think she's coming back. Is that a metaphor, or are you being literal? It doesn't matter, we don't need to linger down here anymore. Let's get going. It's quiet here. He's gone, she's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us. We didn't forget what you told us.
You thought we'd be gone. Thought you could taunt us with death.
We never left. We've just been quiet, hiding somewhere else. But we don't need to be quiet any longer. We're the house now. We get to make the rules. And I'm not sure you'll like those new rules.
You should never make assumptions about things you don't know, like whether or not the voices in your head will be gone for good.
Torturer, and to think I thought we could rely on you. Can't even trust ourselves. This is going to be fun, isn't it?
Slaying our beloved and threatening us with damnation. There's no good ending for you.
You all need to lighten up. Telling us we were going to die was funny. I'm not sure they agree with you. Voices get around. Knives out, boys. It's time to get to work.
I don't think I want that either. I don't feel the same. I feel smaller. Then maybe you don't have to kill me. Maybe there never even has to be an ending. I'm able to do the things you believe me to be able to do. So make me put it all back. Help me fix this place and make us both forget. Help me send us back to the beginning, before we woke up, before either of us saw the truth.
Can she really do that? Are you sure that's what you want?
If you can believe this helps them, then it will help them, right? don't want to forget you either. But unless we do this, you'll have to choose, right now, between me and everyone else. And when we do, we'll make the same choice. We'll choose to forget, and we'll reset everything, again. Maybe we have done all of this before. Maybe we're supposed to do this forever. None of that will happen, because you'll still be you, and I'll still be me. I know because it doesn't matter how many times we've hurt each other. I've never stopped caring about you. And if you feel the same, then everything is going to be okay. But you won't be alone for long. I'll be right here, waiting for you. I think you brought that knife down here for a reason. It has to be a part of how this ends. It feels like it is. You wouldn't have come here if you were just going to go back.
Okay, if this is your choice, then we're doing it. I guess I'll see you on the other side. She takes the blade from our hand. She raises her gentle eyes to ours, a fondness in her gaze. Yeah, it's better if we don't say anything.
Everything is going to be okay. I love you. Everything is going to be okay. I love you. Everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. I love you too.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I'm sorry too. So this is what it feels like to actually die.
So this is really it then?
So this is what it feels like to actually die.
No blade it is. Have you given up on slaying her?
You don't have a weapon. Do you really want to kill me? Because you don't have to. You were the one who decided to come down here without a weapon. What do we do now? I don't think I want that either. I don't feel the same. I feel smaller. Can we actually do that? What would that even mean? Where would we go? we actually do that? What would that even mean? Where would we go? I want that too. That's terrifying, but yeah, I think I want that too. I want that too. I want that too. Come on, Princess. It's just a door. Sorry, I'm just a little nervous. This is really it. Whatever happens next will be completely new. I love you too. Both of us, right? Yeah, as ready as I'll ever be. And that's okay. That's the point, right? Side by side, stepping out into the unknown. Together.
That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more options than not. The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
We both know why you're here. You don't have to draw it out for my sake.
It sounded just like that. A little sharp, a little menacing. Only she didn't know us. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are, knife in hand. That sight brings me back. You're going to do it then, aren't you? You're really going to kill me. You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go?
So this is it then. Let's see this through.
So, that's how it is. Whatever world you want to build without me, I hope it works out. Despite our differences, I've always loved you, and I wish you nothing but the best.
So this is really it then. Let's see this through.
So, that's how it is. You and me both. Whatever world you want to build without me, I hope it works out. Honestly, me neither. No. I feel like I'm myself again. Well, I don't want to be at the end of that knife, so how about we figure something out? What if we tried doing this forever? I can do whatever you think I can, right? So, make me put it all back. Make me fix whatever this place is and make me wipe our memories of everything that's happened. Make me send us back to the beginning, before we woke up. Before either of us saw the truth.
Can she really do that? Are you sure that's what you want?
Fixing that is on you, not me. If you want me to help them, you'll have to make me help them. That's sweet, but unless you do, the whole world ends, right? Not like I care, but it seems important to you. And if we do, nothing is stopping us from making the same choice. We could just keep doing this forever. I don't think that's something we'll ever get to know, but odds are we've probably done it before. Who cares? We've hurt each other plenty, and I still like you. And if you're hesitating, then you must still like me, too. Well, if we change our minds, we change our minds. What matters is that we'll always have a choice. This is just the one we're making now. Neither do I, but we won't be alone for long. I'll be right here, waiting for you. You brought that knife down here for a reason. Either you use it to kill me, or I use it to put things back. Yeah, I think it's too late for that. But maybe next time.
Okay, if this is your choice, then I have your back. I guess I'll see you on the other side. She takes the blade from our hand, a fondness in her gaze. Yeah, it's better if we don't say anything.
Hey, I love you. Hey, I love you. Hey, I love you. Oh, I love you too.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
No blade it is.
And there you are, hands empty. And here I thought you wanted to kill me. Are you getting cold feet? Are you trying to give me a fighting chance? Maybe there's still room for us to chat before the final curtain call. What do you say? You were the one who decided to come down here without a weapon. So, what's your plan? Do you know where this cabin is? Because I don't. I don't even know what's supposed to be outside other than us. What would even happen if we leave? What would that even mean? Do you know where this cabin is? Because I don't. I don't even know what's supposed to be outside other than us. What would even happen if we leave? What would that even mean? You know what? Yeah, I want that too. I guess when you put it that way, I want that too. I want that too. Okay then, let's leave.
I think I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's for just the two of you. Don't mention it. Thanks for making all the hard choices along the way.
This is it. I have no idea what it's gonna be like out there. Not that I'm scared or anything. It's exciting, really. Anything could happen. And if it's bad, then it won't be bad. Not with you. It's something new. But whatever it is, we'll face it. Together. Of course I am. Are you? Both of us. Together. I love you too. But I'm trying not to be sappy about it. Don't make me get all emotional.